So, as a part of our agreement with each other, we talked in a different slide about the covenant, the oath that we're all taking with each other, the virtual handshake that we're all doing with each other, with the agreement that as long as I fulfill my end of the obligations, the environment, everything else around me will give me what I need not just to survive but to thrive. We came up with that oath, with that language of the covenant. Here, let's talk about the social construct that makes it all possible. What are the keys to our success? We must adhere to our core values. We don't allow any deviation from that. There must be respect for everyone. There must be a very strong belief in the process. Again, things will not materialize overnight. There could be a delay. There could be things could happen. Things could potentially backfire. Things may not transpire the right way. All kinds of things could happen. Things could really backfire. It happens all the time. What does it take for you to pick yourself up, get yourself back on track, dust off at the dust, and continue to move forward? What does it take for you to gather everyone around you, motivate them, tell them that what happened has happened, it's all in the past. We got to move forward now. Let's take the next step. That's the belief in the process. Process will eventually take us to wherever we want to go. Again, really, really important reminder for us. Believe in the process. Dedication to our commitment. In an earlier slide, when we talked about the reasons for the transformation, we said you must have a very strong, intense desire to make things happen. Isn't that the key for anything that we do? That you want to lose weight, you want to run the next marathon, for example. You want to build the best e-commerce site out there. You want to increase your sales by a factor of 2.5. How would you do it? Can you just do it just by in the passing, just by having casual conversations about it and eventually hope to get there? No, that can only happen when you not only have a strong desire, a strong commitment to your goals, but then your dedication to your commitment. You cannot waver, right? When you, and by you, I mean the larger you and the entire group behind you. Once you've decided what you want to do, it's your dedication to your commitment that'll eventually take you there. Play Good Samaritans. As a part of our social construct, we require every person, as point number one says, to adhere to our core values. And if there are any deviations from that, then everybody else around them must be willing to stand up and speak out. That hey, this is a deviation. This is not allowed. This is not acceptable, and this is what we are willing to do. And again, in the next few slides, we'll provide you some guidelines on how this could be done. But this absolutely must be done. When deviation from our standards is not allowed, it's not allowed for you as an individual. It's not allowed by anybody else within our sphere of responsibility. Honesty in all public dealings. Honesty in all public dealings has got to be to be an absolute target. It cannot be a almost honest, that I'm honest with most of the people except this one, or I'm 90% honest. If I'm measuring something by maybe an old scenario, the whole notion of tipping the scale, I cannot do it 5% and 10% and be okay with that. I need to understand that morally, consciously, I just cannot do that. When I've signed off on the agreement, on the covenant, I just cannot do that. And not just I cannot do that myself, I cannot be a part of any entity, any organization where this happens all the time. I need to speak up. And the next few slides, we'll talk about what I should be doing if I come across somebody else who's violating our principles. Absolute highest standards of ethics, morality, and integrity. Remember, we're talking about the social construct. We're talking about what does it take for us to succeed as a society. These are all societal norms. These are not, even though they're all individual core values as well, but the value, the benefit of it comes to us at the societal level. So absolute highest standards of ethics, morality, and integrity. Complete transparency. Transparency becomes so much easier when you've got nothing to hide. When somebody comes and wants to examine your books, for example, they're just one set of books, right? The right set of books, and they can examine the book. So what you do, what your core operations are, what you did, what options you had. Imagine having taken the right steps every step of the way. Why would you have any reason to hide it from anyone? So to complete transparency, be willing to be open, and for others to be to come in and maybe occasional audit, or maybe to learn from your transparency. Imagine what we are doing is not just doing something for ourselves, but throughout this presentation, we are talking about the whole societal and communal aspect of our of what we are doing. Let others learn from our level of transparency. Let others learn from our how we are dealing with our social challenges, with our ethical challenges, and how we are coming out ahead. So now with that, let's see if we are ready to take the next step. Are we ready to take a pledge? Now that we understand what our social constructs are, let's see if we are willing to stand up, put our hand on our hearts, and pledge in front of the whole world that I'll perform my job with honesty and integrity, that I'll extend support to anyone who may need it, that I'll treat everybody else with respect, that I'll share my time and my expertise with anyone who may need it, that I will not do or support any actions that are against the law or against the high moral standards that we are defining here. If I see someone violating our principles, I'll intervene, or at least I'll try to find another way to get them to stop. And I'll wage a fight against corruption, and that means corruption in all its forms. I'll always be mindful that my strong actions could harm Pakistan, its reputation, and the well being of others.